Furry Family Coach, and I am so excited today. I hope you are too. We're already on day 9. 9 days from when my husband and I decided we were going to transition our pets to a raw food diet, and I have learned so much stuff and I'm trying to share it all with you guys. If you are out there watching right now, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below this video or on my YouTube channel. But I'm so excited today because my brain octane oil was delivered, and I actually got this last night, so we have started using it today already. I put some in the cat food that I gave them this morning, and I actually took some this morning as well. And let me tell you, so why am I so excited? Of course I was excited to get this. I talked to you guys in length about it yesterday, but so it says, you know, you can put it in anything. You can put it in a smoothie, salad dressing, in your coffee in the morning. It says that it has no flavor, and you can add it to any food or drink. So I really went out on a limb this morning, and let me tell you, I tested it out. I took, it says you're supposed to work your way up to a tablespoon. Start out with a teaspoon and work your way up to a tablespoon a day. This is for me, and I took about a teaspoon, maybe just a touch less than a teaspoon, and I put it in a little bit of water and drank it, and I could not taste it at all. So I wanted to tell you guys, that they say it has no flavor. It truly has no flavor. So I am so excited for that. It does have like the consistency of coconut oil, so it's at a liquid at room temperature. For my cats, all of the research that I've done, it says that cats stopped eating it at around 5% of their replacing their food. Like, so when you're switching over to a new food, you slowly take a little bit of their old food away and add in new food in the same amount that you took away. So up to 5% of their food using MCT oil, that's when cats started to not want it anymore, or in some people's opinions, they just weren't hungry because they were feeling the effects of the MCT oil. So I wanted to start my cats off really super slow, and for all of them I only put in a teaspoon of MCT oil and mixed it into all of their food and then divided it out among them. So I'm starting them off really slow, but I am so incredibly excited because it's absolutely true. It has zero taste, no taste at all. So you can literally add it to anything you want to take it. So that's why I'm so excited today. And I just wanted to go over, I'm going to start adding it to the dog's food this evening. My husband usually feeds them in the morning, and I didn't ask him to put it in their food this morning. I just didn't think about it. So they're going to get it this evening. But I just wanted to also tell you just a quick little rundown of some of the things that dry food can cause, especially in our cats, but even in our dogs. Because dry food, feeding 100% dry food to our animals induces a state in them where the word is not coming to me. They're not receiving the hydration that they need, because cats especially, dogs usually, like in general, are pretty good about drinking water. Cats are not. Even if cats are drinking an adequate amount of water, dehydration, that's the state that dry food puts our pets in. So if your cat is only eating dry food, even if they're drinking water, they're not getting enough water, because the dry food the kibble is putting your pet in a state of dehydration because there just isn't enough water in it. This is especially true for cats because when they are naturally eating in the wild, their prey is up to 75% water. And if you think about how much of our bodies are made up of water, the same is true with all other mammals. So their prey is up to 75% water, whereas kibble has like 7% water in it, and that makes sense because it's dry. Like, you wouldn't expect it to have any at all. So even transitioning our cats to a wet food diet is going to be so much better for them than a kibble diet. And with that being said, some of the things that dry food can induce in our pets, especially cats: diabetes, urinary tract disease. I've had plenty of experience with urinary tract disease in my cats already. Kidney disease and inflammatory bowel disease. I have a cat that has that as well. So when I'm telling you about all of these things, I'm not just saying, oh hey, these things can happen. Guess what? I'm experiencing them right now, and you might be too. So understand that this is all caused by dry food. So I want to get my cats off of the dry food as quickly as possible. And when I fed them, now I know this because I feed them, you know, every day, and I have been for years. I have some cats that like the wet food and they'll eat it no problem. They eat their whole plate up and they're good to go. And I have some cats that just want absolutely nothing to do with the wet food that I'm giving them. So what am I going to do? What can you do when you're transitioning? This is the same thing we can do with dogs, because some dogs are going to be the same way. Now, my dogs happened to transition from a dry food to a homemade wet food very easily, but there are going to be some dogs out there, and your dog may be one of them, that isn't going to transition so easily. So what can we do to help them transition from a kibble diet to any kind of wet food diet, whether it's a homemade wet food diet or wet food you buy from the grocery store or the pet food store, or a raw diet, when we're transitioning any animal away from kibble? So we want to make sure, and you do too, when you're transitioning your pet, you want to make sure that you are providing them with a wet food that entices them. And if they don't have a wet food that is particularly enticing, you can try different wet foods, of course, but we can also add things to the wet food. And what I'm going to get for my cats, and what I suggest you get for yours as well, some freeze-dried chicken or some freeze-dried salmon. Even I found at one of my local pet stores, and I'm gonna go get some more today, is some freeze-dried shrimp, the tiny little shrimp. They love those things. Even like fish flakes, bonito flakes, they love these things. So I'm gonna go get some, and I'm gonna put it on top of my cat's wet food to try to entice them to eat that more and take away the kibble more and more as they start eating the wet food. So that's where we are today. I'm still working really hard at transitioning my cats away from the kibble. I don't want to do it too quickly, because as I've told you guys in previous videos, too much of a decrease in their calories too quickly, too quick of a weight loss in them can also be detrimental to their health. It can cause fatty liver disease and diabetes, as we discovered yesterday. So I want to do this as easily and pain-free as possible. So I'm slowly transitioning them. I'm super excited that my MCT oil came today, and I'm even more excited that it really does have absolutely no flavor whatsoever. I just put it in water this morning and drank it, and I'm like, yay, because a lot of times these things say they have no flavor, and then they do, and you're really disappointed because it's gross. And this one truly has absolutely no flavor, no smell, anything. It was so amazing when I put it in my water this morning and drank it. So that's where we are. I'm going to get some stuff, and I encourage you to, when you're transitioning your dogs and or your cats away from kibble onto wet food, if they're having a hard time with it, let's add some stuff to the wet food to really make them want it. So I'm going to go get some freeze-dried shrimp, and they also have like salmon and chicken and some other stuff. Try anything like that. Fish flakes, bonito flakes. I know my cats love those already, so I'm going to add that to their wet food and entice them to eat that even more. So that's where we are on day 9 of our transition to a raw food diet. Again, if you have any questions or comments, leave them below this video. I'm also going to put this video up on my YouTube channel. I'm very active on both Facebook and YouTube. If you ever have any questions or comments, please leave them. I will respond to you. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video.